Okay, we are live, I think, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of this podcast in Sync. My name is Anja Richter. I am a holistic consciousness coach and trainer and educator. And today I invite you to be present right now. Be present with this moment when you just discover this video, then it is for you. And maybe it's exactly what you were kind of looking for, to be actually present right now. And almost involuntarily, there is a deeper breathing. There is this discovery of, wow, right now, I'm just existing. I'm just being. I'm just here now. And I can feel it. My body is actually having an experience about it, in it, with it, as part of it. This feeling of awareness, being this awareness in which everything else exists and is an experience of this sense of beingness. Where do you feel it right now? How can you feel it and maybe deepen it right now for yourself? Maybe through another breath, or closing your eyes, or relaxing. And feeling, wow, right now there's nothing to do. Right now, there are no problems. Right now, I'm not thinking. And it's not bad. Wow, maybe I don't need to think all the time. Wow, maybe it was just about this moment of vastness, of spaciousness, of limitlessness, being without anything, just being, and realizing, wow, I am existing without anything to do, without needing to do anything for it, and without anything I can do to prevent myself existing. I can't do anything against it. I can't do anything about it. It's just happening. It's just what is. It's just the love that is being me. It is the love of this one source being me, expressing itself through me, by myself. I am this source, this love, this vastness, this boundless existence right now and in every single moment of this physical experience. And I didn't want to start like that, to be honest. And it's always beautiful when it just unfolds itself like that. So I'm right in the middle of the topic for today, which is presence, which is what we are, and also even kind of a way to experience more of our wholeness, to tap into and return to that vastness, completely conscious of being what we are. And I remember myself asking myself and wondering and really craving for an experience, a real experience that I could recognize consciously as being present, as being in this holiness of this moment. And I was really wondering how to achieve that, how to get there, right? I think we all know this question. And I very vividly remember the moment I actually found the access to it. And I can tell you, it was not a moment of meditation. It was not a moment where I was kind of trying to get there. It was a complete ordinary moment. And I would like to share this story just um, to give some idea of and encouragement to that the most important thing of all of that, of the whole spiritual journey is, and I say it really often, relaxing. It is just relaxing. It is actually the most accelerating tool to get present. And my microphone is just falling. To get present And you can actually, while listening to me, I really invite you to stay present. This is why I made a fluid introduction. Just feel free to really enjoy being present right now and being consciously present, because this is what presence all is about, you know. Actually, we are present all the time. We are just not conscious about it. And this is the gap, you know, we are feeling. We are feeling this gap of not being connected with the wholeness of ourselves, with the wholeness that is everything, with this love that is that wholeness. And the moment we are tapping into that, and the moment we recognize it, in this moment we have it forever. This is at least what I experienced, and this is what I want to talk about today a little bit. And it was 2018, so like 6 years ago. And I had just quit my job and my flat and everything in Germany, to go to a spiritual community in Sweden. And this is another story, but I didn't stay there for long. And I left after 2 months, having planned a lot more time there. And I found myself in Sweden. The only thing I knew was I can't go back now to Germany. I felt not ready for that. I was on at a very, very low point in my life, because I was like, where to go now? I just broke all the bridges behind me. Um, I did have no income. I did have no savings. I had planned to stay in this community for such a long time. And now it's just 2 months and I'm on my own with a lot of baggage. So to shut that core short a little bit, cut that short, um, I found myself traveling in Sweden, and I was really craving for a place that where I just could be in meditation and really integrate everything, because I was so filled with resentment, with judgment, and mostly with a huge feeling of being guilty and not good enough, and having really having failed, like to be a complete failure. So I I was really craving for a place, like a hut in the woods of Sweden, that where I could just, you know, heal, heal and look at my wounds and really heal. And it didn't happen. It was like, either it was too far away and I didn't have a car. So, you know, there was no way to get to groceries and whatever. Or it was too expensive and everything in between. So I was like traveling from one city to another city, from hotel to hotel, and just doing this work while traveling. And one day, I picked up my phone. I sat in a cafe and I got a message 3 times, like 3 times after another. I got the same message from different persons, that there was a huge online congress happening. And I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. A friend of mine is the organizer of that thing. And I was like, and I didn't even think. really, I didn't even think. I just picked up the phone and called him. I told him, I saw this message 3 times right now, and I don't know what it means, but do you maybe need any support with that? And he was like, I don't believe it. We just we talked about we are needing another co-moderator for this whole thing, for this huge online conference, like with a lot of really well-known famous people in it and whatever. And I was like, well, so I'm in. And I hang up and I was like, what are you doing, Anya? You are so craving to be just for yourself and not talking to anyone. And now in a few days you are co-moderator of such a huge online conference for I think a week or at least 5 days. It was really huge. And I was like, all right, whatever that means. And I still had that feeling like, oh my God, I so need to integrate all that stuff. But anyway, so I was like, wow, now you really have to get to a place where there's a really good internet and where you can just do that. And you will get to have the headsets and everything. So um, I found that place. Suddenly, I found this perfect place with perfect landlord, with a beautiful son, and she was doing everything to fix the telephone cable for me to start this thing. She was hours on the phone, and it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful little city in Sweden, just in the middle of it. And I knew we had just recognized each other without even knowing each other, just on this platform with hundreds of people in a train station, and it was meant to be. So, and in the middle of this online conference, my whole day was structured now by this, when I have my next session to co-moderate and whatever, and being together with the team and stuff like that. And it actually hugely helped myself, even if I didn't expect that. It helped me to be of service in a situation where I thought I need help, to help others, to be of service. And this is always what we discover, don't we? When we actually give that what we think we need to receive. And it was so beautiful. I could discover how the strengths come back, and with it this relaxation again, and this knowing who I am, this power. And this was also the power that enabled me to do this work and to do the healing work, and to feel strong enough to do that. And so one day it was, I think, at the end of this conference, in the morning, I'm standing in front of my bed in the sleeping room, and I'm about to make my bed, right, after the night. And I'm I'm just really conscious about making my bed, because I had this commitment to really, this is what I took from this spiritual community as a practice, to be present, even if I didn't really know at that point. Like, I was present to a degree, but it wasn't something I could feel within as a state. It was more like, be present with what you are doing, like have your eyes on your hands, and really be present with what you are doing, and not, watch your mind. Is it somewhere else, or is it right there where your body is? And is it right there with your actions? And I'm making my bed. And in that moment, I could feel this presence. I can't describe it in another word. It was this presence behind my back, like kind of somebody standing behind me, but huge. And I could feel it merging from behind with my consciousness, with my awareness. And it was just a realization of myself and the getting aware suddenly of the rest of myself, for lack of a better term, like the rest of the wholeness and infinity of myself. And it got huge, it got like boundless, and I could feel myself being at its center, and at the same time everywhere in it, every single particle in every corner of it. And I could feel it in my body. My whole body tingled like crazy. And I could really feel how this presence was actually merging with my body, with its organs, with the skin, with everything, and like coming from back there in front, and really widening itself and the whole room and beyond it. And I was just standing there with the blanket in my hands. I will never forget this. And and it was the most precious and beautiful experience. And I knew, I had the feeling like, oh my God, I'm back. And I remembered a teacher of mine, a very dear teacher of mine, who had always said and talked about this moment, how it was for him, and how it was like when he discovered, oh my God, it was here in front of my nose the whole time. It was there. I just didn't know that it was that. What I was feeling, what I was breathing, what I was part of and origin of at the same time. It's so familiar. And that was what I felt too. It was so absolutely familiar that I knew it from the first moment of my existence. I knew it from the first moment of my incarnation here. It was me, and I was it. And it was so familiar, like the oxygen here. It was so familiar that, like the oxygen, I wasn't just aware because it was just such an integrated part of me that I wasn't even thinking of it, and I wasn't even knowing how to find it, because it's, as the saying goes, a fish doesn't know water. It doesn't know it's swimming in water, right? This is its natural environment, and only in a moment where you're not trying to achieve it, but just relaxing and not thinking about anything. This is the doorway to it to show you itself, because you are that. And it doesn't want anything more than this part of itself that is you in a physical form and in kind of a separated form, get aware of it again and return, merge with this beautiful, most natural state. And since then, it never left me, but it's kind of, switching from more being in the background and more being in in the front. And of course, it depends only on where I am putting my focus on. And wherever it is, I can always, like when I get like when I'm getting aware of, oh, right now I'm not really present. So I just know where to go with my intention, with my focus, with my awareness. And it's hard to describe, but there are lots of ways and tools that I'm teaching to get there, because I'm an explorer. I've collected so many ways to go there, because after that, my curiosity just went nuts. I wanted to know everything about it. So I experienced a lot with a lot of those ways to access that, on all the levels, on the bodily level, on the emotional level, at the spirit level. So, but it is really like, this knowing, and it is such a difference, and that is what I want to talk about also for a few minutes. It is such a difference, doing the same thing without this being in the background, but conscious of it being in the background, if you know what I mean. Or if you're not aware of your own being, if you're not aware of your own presence, and doing that thing just no just being completely fixed on the external, with your whole awareness, with your whole focus. So even in your positioning, you get aware of it right away. And always when I'm kind of switching back or deeper into it, there's always a movement with the body too. And this is, the body gets straighter, because it is like it's an acquirement for the body to be aligned and to get better access, to get access to the whole, through like from down and from up. This is really just one line. And what I want to talk about is there are also a lot of, like, there are different perspectives of this present. It's not, as I just came to it completely, not in kind of a classical meditation. It just happened doing something. It happened in action. I was making the bed. So it can happen anywhere. If you like are setting the intention for it to show itself every day, and then don't have any expectations when, which is quite difficult for us always, right? How, you know, and in what kind of and where, what kind of an environment or whatever. So if you're complete without attachment, then it can just pick the right moment and present itself to you and merge with you. And there are more perspectives to presence that I would just like to talk about shortly, because there is this one presence, being present and really dive deep into it, just opening myself in meditation, in stillness, and kind of like setting an intention and then just kind of following with my back eyes, I would say, following it with my ears and with all my senses. So involve also the senses of the body to it, and drop into that relaxation and let it open itself from the inside, and then just drop yourself into this vastness, into this spaciousness and darkness. For me, it's always kind of dark, and it's beautiful. And out of this, there are coming. I mean, there are coming so many beautiful experiences that also include the light, of course. But it is always like getting back to the womb of everything, of the nothing, and from there, let's just take yourself on a journey. You can set an intention before, but this is kind of meditation, classically speaking. But what is at least as important and essential, at least in my experience of being present, is actually being present. For me, means being present, of course, with this moment. So there are two sides of this moment. First, and this is the most important thing of it, be present with you can't even say first, right? I take that back, because first you get aware of a situation where you are not present, right? Because if you are present, you're just present, right? So the moment where you discover, oh, I'm not present, is the moment where you can decide you want to be more present, you want to be more here, you want to be in the moment, to actually open up to another perception of that same situation, and get more ideas, and get connected to yourself, and get connected to the solution of it, get connected to higher levels of yourself, of your own whole consciousness. So first, I would say there's always this moment of, wow, I'm not present. So you are, in that moment, you are already present with what is in the moment. And that is, I'm not present. I'm anxious. I'm feeling devastated. I'm feeling all over the place. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling irritated. I'm feeling scared, whatever. So this is the first thing. And you are in that moment when you can actually say that, or recognize that so concrete as I said it. I'm feeling this, or I'm not present. In that moment, you are getting present. You are already in a state of present, in an early state maybe, but you are in a state of presence. And then for me, the most crucial thing I'm always sharing, because for me it was absolutely crucial, is in that moment when I decide, oh wow, okay, I'm not present and I really want to be present right now because I know this is the solution. Even if it's in the middle of something, when I think, oh, I have to act out and I have to say and I have to do something and whatever, and to breathe and to relax and to get present and then to connect, and just by intention to connect to that knowingness in yourself that you are an eternal existing state of being. You are this state, and connect yourself to this relaxation. Because I always say, try to be, oh, I can't even, like in English, it's not as fun as in German, but in the meaning, it means try to be relaxed and scared at the same time. Like try to be scared, relaxed, right? That would be literally saying it. So if you're trying to be scared or afraid in a relaxed state, and just try it, because I have not found any person until now, maybe, who was able to do this. You can only be one or the other. So I always, a lot of times I'm saying, like, the ego can never be relaxed. The ego's program doesn't know relaxation, real relaxation. For it is like a kind of distraction, but it is not really deep relaxation into the moment. It cannot do this. So in that moment, you are already in your present, in your God state, in your love. And then, so this is the one thing. You are present now with yourself as love, as not destroyable, as always existing, as immortal, as just here and now, being, and somehow, somewhere, feeling this knowingness of I can never not exist. I can never not exist. Can you feel that right now? Maybe. And in this space, you are present now with this space of love, with this space of beingness, with this greater consciousness of yourself. And now, with this, you are now focusing your light. The light is now anchored in your presence. And now you are, as this light, you are now getting present with everything that wants to come up, with everything that was suppressed, with all the unconscious feelings, emotions, anxiety, the feelings in the body, and really, really putting your huge light on that and opening up, relaxing into that, knowing that you are the all, that you are absolutely boundless, limitless, eternal being all the time. And as that everything that you yourself cut off from this knowingness, just let it come into this presence of light, because this is all it wants, because in its essence, every fear, every anxiety, every grief is love, just distorted, and it wants to get back to the wholeness of itself, of you, of your consciousness, of your light, of your being love, and really breathing and relaxing into that as the presence you are. This is, in my eyes, the way of healing and self-healing, and you don't need anyone for it. You are completely capable of doing this with your worst fears. And if you are saying, yes, I can feel that, but still, I would like to have a companionship with that and go to the deepest places together, I'm here. I'm like, since this moment and another moment in my life where I actually really discovered that it really kind of saved my life to do it exactly like this, to be first present with the light in me, and then as that, being present with the dark in me, which is also light, and which is, just the same. And it is just the programming of myself, like just with the being present with the programming of myself as that consciousness that is beyond this programming. And this is more or less what I wanted to share today, to see that that there's so much, and this is just one part of it, but there's so much to this one word, presence. And it is the most beautiful word, and it is really a state of being. It is a state of living. Every moment and your days, just being present with everything that is, as an experience of yourself as the whole self, as the whole consciousness with all its levels and layers, and feeling all those levels and layers being present right now with your experience of this moment. It takes a huge burden off you, because at that moment you realize, oh my God, it's not me in this body self that has to actually do anything with that or handle the situation or whatever. It is, there is and are so much more of me, and I can, in this openness, they can just, and it can just drop all the information needed for the moment and the next and the next that is needed. And if we learn more and more to follow this drops, this signs, this synchronicities, this thoughts, this pictures, images, sounds, whatever it is that is actually really guiding us from one moment to the other, when we are present and getting to know more and more, how can I access this presence in every moment? What is that in me that is, where is that shift happening in me? And really memorizing, whenever you find a moment where you discover, wow, oh my God, I shifted, I'm present now. How did I do that? That's at least how I discover things. But it's really the most important thing to actually enjoy it, enjoy this presence, and enjoy this moment, because this is what I remind myself a lot of all the time. Enjoy. I actually have little pins in my whole apartment, and there is just one word in German: enjoy. And enjoy means enjoy. Just enjoy this moment where you're looking at this little paper. Enjoy the moment, right? How it is. How are you feeling? Stressed? Okay, enjoy it. How are you feeling? Anxious? Okay, enjoy it. Because enjoying is getting present with it, and actually the feeling that you are not alone. Your whole self is actually enjoying it. Your whole other self is actually aware of it, and at that moment when you are conscious, you are connecting with that space, and you are you're in another state. You are in another state. And I just realized, look at my shirt. Free your mind. Free your mind, and then you're present. You're present at the same moment. When you drop your mind into your heart, and this is another topic, when you are really mastering being present in and through and by your heart, then everything is just really unfolding very, very rapidly. Then there's a really another feeling of reality, and miracles happen a lot more accelerated. So trying to involve your heart and your heart chakra into being present. And you can start with being present with your heart. In this moment, your intention, your focus goes here, and it's not, it cannot be here and here. And in that moment, just try it right now if you want. How does it feel? And I thank you so much for listening until this point, and I hope you enjoyed this present moment with me. I enjoyed it very much, even if it's like 33 degrees in the shadow in where I'm living in the south of Germany. But just being present with that heat is actually taking all disbalanced feelings out of it, and it's just existing and experiencing heat as a body, and feeling that presence that is actually growing with that. Being present means also strengthening it and widening it, and turning the volume up, so to speak, and to really growing as it, into it, and it itself. And with this, I wish you a very, very, very present day. And I probably will come up with a English speaking workshop or mini workshop onto this topic of presence, because it's my favorite still. So I will let you know. Just subscribe to my channel, and I will let you know about the date and everything. So have a nice day, and I love you, and thank you for listening. Mwah.